Welcome to this video on hexavalent chromium. This guide is designed for EHS and occupational health professionals to help you understand the toxicity of crossing VI and ensure compliance with OSHA standards. Hexavalent chromium is an occupational hazard across many industries, from welding and electroplating to the production of pigments and construction materials. Understanding where this threat exists is the first step toward effective management. It is crucial to distinguish between trivalent and hexavalent chromium. While trivalent chromium is a stable, essential micronutrient, hexavalent chromium is highly reactive, carcinogenic, and significantly more toxic to human cells. How does crossing 6 breach our defenses? It acts as a Trojan horse, mimicking essential molecules to enter cells. Once inside, it is reduced, causing oxidative stress and direct damage to DNA, leading to mutations. Understanding toxicokinetics is key. CRVI enters the body primarily through inhalation or broken skin. While the stomach provides some defense against ingestion, inhaled particles can dissolve and enter the bloodstream, eventually being excreted by the kidneys. Exposure can lead to various clinical manifestations. These include pulmonary damage like nasal septum perforation, gastrointestinal issues if ingested, skin ulcers, and long-term renal failure due to the burden on the system. Clinical impacts vary by exposure route. Whether by inhalation, dermal contact, or ingestion, each route carries its own set of acute and chronic health effects that must be monitored. Clinical management focuses on immediate decontamination and systemic intervention. Nutritional support, such as vitamin C and N-acetylcysteine, can also help bolster the body's natural reduction capacity against oxidative stress. In the second part of this video, we explore the regulatory shield. OSHA Standard 29 CFR 1910.1026 provides a strict framework of exposure limits and hygiene controls to protect workers from these systemic threats. OSHA establishes 2 key baselines, the action level and the permissible exposure limit. Knowing these thresholds is vital, as they trigger mandatory monitoring and protective requirements in the workplace. Air monitoring frequency depends on your measured levels. Whether you are below the action level, between it and the PEL, or above the PEL, specific monitoring intervals apply unless you have objective data to bypass them. We follow a hierarchy of controls. Substitution and elimination are most effective. Engineering controls, work practices, and lastly, personal protective equipment provide layers of defense against chromium exposure. Breaking the contamination loop is essential. This includes creating regulated areas, providing dedicated change rooms, and strictly prohibiting dangerous practices like dry sweeping or using compressed air to clean clothing. Medical surveillance is required for workers reaching specific exposure thresholds. Physicians provide written opinions on necessary limitations, ensuring that occupational health remains a priority while maintaining confidentiality. In summary, these rules exist to stop the specific pathways of harm: aerosolization, ingestion, and dermal contact. By following these protocols, you effectively neutralize the threat of hexavalent chromium in your facility. To maintain compliance, you must adhere to strict record-keeping requirements. This includes keeping accurate logs of air monitoring data, documentation for objective data used to bypass testing, and comprehensive medical surveillance files for all workers. In closing, mastering the chromium blueprint involves 2 main steps: acknowledging the severe cellular threat and maintaining the shield through rigid adherence to OSHA thresholds and hygiene protocols. By mapping these controls, you ensure worker safety.